So, sorry for the interruption. So this is a case of menorrhagia. Next slide. This case came to me very unusually. I mean, this lady was not under my treatment, but when she came to me through some reference. So this is the primary information that the husband gave me. The patient has not come to me, right? Husband came to me and told me about her preliminary details, that she is 40 years old, obese, high blood pressure, hypothyroidism with complaints of heavy menses, and her menstrual cycle was very regular but with very heavy flow that used to last for 8 to 10 days. Now what happened, why she came to me was, why the husband came to me was, since last 2 months the flow used to linger almost for entire month with profuse bleeding for 10 to 12 days, with clots passing, causing a lot of pain, and then passive bleeding which used to remain throughout the cycle. And she was on hemostatics, and as and when needed she also took Ayurvedic medicines in between, but there was no relief. So this was the preliminary data of this patient, and this patient happens to be my friend's sister. So her operation was planned on the next day. So my friend told me that since he is obese and hypothyroid with a short history of hypertension, can you please see the reports so that and if anything can be done from your side till she is subjected to surgery next day. I said, okay, you send her husband to me. So that's how the husband came to me, right? Next slide. So husband came to me, okay, with all the reports, and I asked him to make me talk with her on phone when I was going through the reports, because just to give anything on the basis of the reports doesn't make any sense. So she told me on phone that she is in a very bad shape as the bleeding is just not stopping. She was using extra large pads and still she had to change them every hourly. This was her condition. And she was sitting with a bucket near her bed. So heavy was the bleeding, right? And this sounded strange to me, that if you are wearing this much of extra large pads, since why you have to keep a bucket near your bed? To which she answered that least movement was causing the gush of blood outside, which was soiling her clothes through the pad, and hence she was sitting with both the legs tightly close to each other. This was what she was able to tell me on the phone, that this was her condition. Now I was also scared that this amount of heavy bleeding, how can we will be able to address with our medicine. So I was casually telling her husband that she definitely needs surgery, looking at the amount of blood loss that is happening. And simultaneously I was going through the reports. This was what exactly happening in my clinic, that I was browsing through her reports and said that okay, she needs surgery because this is very heavy bleeding, and it is better to subject her to surgery because this is happening since long, and now she is into the worst condition. Next slide. When this casual talk was happening about the choice of surgeon, because they had already taken the appointment of the surgeon, and husband told me that is this the surgeon correct to whom which we are approaching for surgery, I noticed that the urine report was showing red cells and protein 2+. These were the pre-op reports that I was going through. So I asked husband about her, that did she have any other complaints like diabetes, blood pressure, to which he denied. But I know that she was having blood pressure, but of a very short duration, right? This was peculiar thing noticed as to why urine shows presence of protein. That struck me, that why this lady has to pass protein in urine. Red cells are explainable because she was bleeding heavily, but presence of protein in a case of 40-year female with a short history of hypertension and diabetes with normal kidneys on sonography was not explaining this presence of protein in urine. So again I went through the report and saw the same thing. So what I did, I thought, let me try to find if I can see this in repertory. So I opened repertory, and to my joy I found a rubric, urine albuminous menses during, having Helonias only as a single remedy listed by Dr. Kent. And then I remembered that what she said, that she has to sit with legs tightly closed or else the little movement was causing gush of the blood soiling the clothes. This was the only conversation I did with her on phone because she was not even in a position to talk. But when I looked that rubric and then I remembered what she said, I thought that this could be very well a case of Helonias. So let me give her Helonias till the surgery is done. I was not hopeful that the medicine will work, but I thought let me give her Helonias so that whatever help we can offer her, we can do that for her. So I again called her as to ask what is the feeling due to heavy flow, to which she said there is extreme weakness. And I asked her to tell me the local feeling of the part, and she said that she feels as if the whole uterus will forcibly come out. This again I called after when I confirmed Helonias, whether should I give or not, so I asked her again. Okay, next slide. So now this description exactly matches the forced out sensation of lily florae with a very characteristic physical particular as a concomitant, the presence of protein in urine. So I decided to give Helonias, and before it I referred Matria Medica. So Patak Matria Medica reads Helonias, menses too frequent, too profuse, hemorrhage from atony of uterus, dark foul blood, uterus heavy, sore, tender, ulcerated or prolapsed, heavy dragging in pelvis, and generality says that it is remedy for females who are unduly exhausted by frequent pregnancies, abortion, innervated by indolence and luxury, or over domestic work with tired backache and tired feeling. So this was sufficient for me to give her Helonias. I asked them to give Helonias 1 ml in water dilution, 2 teaspoonful every hour till she starts feeling better, and then to repeat 4 hours and report me in the morning. She called me in the morning telling that her flow has reduced by 50%. Overnight she took Helonias 1 ml hourly. On further inquiry also, her energy levels and sleep were better, that she was able to sleep well and feeling better in terms of energy. I advised that they can postpone surgery and continue the remedy 4 hourly for a day more to see whether this is really working or not, or else we cannot take a risk in such a bad condition. Next day morning the bleeding completely stopped and the surgery was postponed. I told them that we will decide it about after the next cycle, because still I was not very sure that what will happen in the next cycle. So I said we are postponing surgery, we are not cancelling it, let us wait. I also asked them to get urine report done after 3 days because I wanted to confirm this presence of protein in urine. So I asked them to do urine report after 3 days, whether she is still passing, but the urine report was absolutely normal. And next cycle was almost normal and she was saved from hysterectomy on the basis of this report. So